Yo, it's Ime 4K, owner and founder of Jehucal. Slightly different setting to them in my car right now today. I'm waiting for Nicole, my girl, to finish at Pilates, so I thought, let me just shoot another video. We're about like, 3-4 videos in now, getting to know each other a little bit. Now you see how to run a brand, why I'm restarting my brand, but I haven't actually told you yet what my brand name is, what my brand name means, in fact, should I say. You know, it's called Jehucal. Some call it Jehucal or Jackal. Her one guy called it Jackal. Don't know what's going on there, but it's pronounced Jehucal, and it's actually my first name. So before I get into this one today, like I say, as always, make sure you click below and subscribe on the channel so I can get that to 100 subscribers. That'll be a real good feeling, a real good feeling. I was born in East London, in Newham sort of area, and I moved to North London, Edmonton. I went to school around there, I'm All Saints Primary School, and like I said, my actual first name is Jehucal, not Ime. Yes, I have catfished you guys for the last 7+ years of my life. Because my name was so unique, you kind of know how kids are in primary school. They're very taking the mick out of it, making jokes about it, and so. I wasn't as witty as I am now back then, so I got into a lot of fights in primary school. I was suspended a good few times as well, fighting people, etc. And eventually got to a point and said, look, either you leave the school or we're going to expel you. And that's when my family said, cool, we're leaving. We left the school. I moved out of London with my whole family to Hertfordshire, where I reside now pretty much. When we've moved there, I thought, cool, I want a fresh start. I want to forget my past of being in trouble in school. I said, cool, mum, dad, my middle name Emmanuel. I'm going to change it to my first name and go by Emmanuel instead. And I shortened it down to Ime. I know a lot of guys called Emmanuel go by E-Man, but I just felt it was a very London-y thing. So I was like, I want a fresh, clean break. I'm a countryside boy now, basically, so I'm going by Ime instead. So I got to a new school now. I'm getting my grades up again. Behavior's turned around. Everything is sweet for a few years. Then I go to high school. When I get into high school again, I told teachers, look, don't call me Jehucal, call me Emmanuel, shorten down to Ime if you like. There was a sub-teacher in one day, and that sub-teacher didn't get the memo that it's not Jehucal, it's Emmanuel or Ime. They've tried to pronounce my name in the register, butchered my name. But I can't even remember how he said it, but it was just so bad. Everyone's like, who the hell is that? Who's Jackal? Who's this person? I'd say, yeah, me, sir, that's me. And then from there, the jokes kind of started again. And obviously where I live in Hertfordshire at the time, it's a very affluent area. The kids there are wearing normally at the school they're wearing Prada or Gucci, whatever. I'm thinking maximum 5 to 7, maybe no more than 10 black boys in my year group. It was an all boys school as well. So after a while, the jokes kind of started again of me being African, of my appearance having big lips as well at the time. But the girls love it now. Well, my girl loves it now. That's where I'm at, really and truly. And even just not having the designer clothes. On a uniform day, I haven't got the fresh Prada trainers or the Gucci jacket or whatever and so. So I was getting mocked for my outfits as well and stuff like that. But again, the bad behavior kind of started again of getting into trouble in school and stuff, etc. Being suspended quite a few times again. But when I got to the age of around 14, 15 years old, that I started to get into fashion and look at your brands like Margiela, Rick Owens, Supreme, Palace, and those sort of brands there. I was like, oh, I really like these sort of things here. But I couldn't afford to buy it. Didn't have a job, and my dad was not buying me this stuff. So it was I would sit online on my computer all day, just scrolling through it after school, looking at clothes. And my dad saying to me, stop looking at clothes, Emmanuel. Go and face your books. You can go become a doctor. You can go and buy all the Gucci belts you want. And I'm like, bro, I can't wear a Gucci belt in the hospital ward. Or I'm going to be flexing on guys that have a broken leg. That doesn't make any sense. So I was kind of new from back then. I didn't see myself being in an office-based sort of role or hospital or whatever. Tweeted though when I was 15 years old, I want my own clothing line. You can see a tweet right there, still on my page to this day. But then it came to going to university, and I had done business studies, biology, chemistry and maths at A levels. I flopped in my first year, I'm not gonna lie, even though I got maths a year early in GCSE. I then took it I was a bit too cocky for A levels, and I just fumbled it and then lost that one. So cool. I knew from there that it wasn't going to be a medicine thing anymore. That was out the window. So I was like, okay, I still want this clothing brand. I still want to start it, but I knew I couldn't tell my parents I want to go to fashion college. So I was like, okay, I can find a middle ground where I say, cool, I'm going to go uni to go and do business studies so I can learn about starting a business, and then on the side of it, I can learn about fashion on the side, and when I'm ready, I can start my clothing brand and take what I learned at university into my brand and then go from there and boom. So I went to uni, went to Kent University. I get there now, everything's cool. I've done my first year. I was working in Cream's Cafe, as you can see here. I just became tired. I became so tired of working all weekend in Cream's Cafe to make money to go and buy a pair of jeans that are like too short for me, that I was like, you know what? I'm going to just start this brand now. I worked full time for a month in that job at the end of my first year of university. Took my last like 1K and my overdraft that I had, designed my first t-shirt, quit the job, and then released the first t-shirt. And this was the first t-shirt, Never Been Safe t-shirt, inspired by MLK and the BLM movement, kind of growing at the time. I wanted to have my sort of influence as well on the growing movement then, so I made this t-shirt to go along with that. I think taking that risk back then was the best thing of my life. There was no real business plan behind what I wanted to do. I want to start this brand. And so if I kept my job, I would not take it seriously. So I thought, go on and quit my job. I'm not saying take that risk. It was a big risk that I took because I had rent to pay, phone bills to pay, and so. But I took that risk, and ultimately it paid off. The t-shirt sold out in the first couple of weeks of me doing it. So I could then just reinvest again into new stuff and keep going from there. So I bring out long sleeve t-shirts, hoodies, jackets, bags, etc. And I kept growing the brand through that time. I then graduated in 2019. And took on the brand full time from there. But I remember at the end of my last year of uni in my exams, I did my last exam. I went home thinking, cool, I'm going to chill with the man then, get some FIFA going on, uni's done. And I get an email, I think 2 hours later, being like, hey, Ime, we want to invite you and your brand to come and have an exhibition at London Fashion Week that year. You've got around a month to get ready. I was like, huh? I was like, I had the juice in my hand, like, huh? I had to put that down, get on the computer, get to work, and then crack that out. So yeah, 2019 we did a London Fashion Week exhibition. That was super fun. Then the weeks after that, I gave talks at Parliament. I've since then collaborated with Chivas Regal, with the FA Cup, just growing the brand from there and taking it on full time. I got my first office 4 years ago as well. And yeah, that's how I started the brand. But in terms of getting the name of the brand as well, I completely missed that part out. My apologies. I watched an interview with Virgil Abloh where he said the brand name needs to be linked to what the brand stands for. For me, I knew this brand was born out of me being laughed at for clothes I couldn't afford to have. Just my general passion for fashion as well. Oh, what a cringe statement that was. But my general like for fashion as well, and my entrepreneurial spirit that I had as well. And I was like, okay, I'm going to name this brand Jehucal. I picked that name because it's a name that caused myself and my family so much trouble over the years, from me being bullied in school, to have my family move from London to Hertfordshire because of my behaviour in school, to go from a name I was mocked for to now become a name that is worn on my chest, on people's chest in London, Brunei, Australia, New Zealand, New York, everywhere with pride. That's why I named the brand Jehucal. That's the brand name's origin. And I hope to show you guys a lot more of the brand. Make sure you subscribe below to find out more what I'm doing, the next stages are for the brand, and how I grew the brand to where it is.